Hello, everyone. My name is Mustafa, and welcome to day two of Postman API Fundamentals Student Expert Certification. I hope you were able to follow along for day one with me, and let's get started for day two. By the way, on day one, I did ask you a question about what is the status code 418. Did you get the answer yet? Yeah, I'll wait for you folks to add it in the chat, and then I'll quickly share my screen and get started. Let's see if you got it. Yeah, the status code was 418. I mentioned what it means, basically in the status code families. Let me quickly check. You folks are joining in. That's awesome. By the way, today we are going to end the certification, which means by the end of this session, you will have a certificate and a digital badge, and also an opportunity to win some awesome swags. Why did mention about swags? Yesterday, we did run an awesome challenge. So we are going to decide the winner today. Actually, we have already decided. We are going to share with you the list of winners as well in this call. Yeah, let me see the chat. Oh, yes, someone says teapot. By the way, I told you yesterday I have a t-shirt. Yes. So you can see I am a teapot. I usually wear these in events. Very funny. Without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. Let me quickly share my screen. I hope you all are able to hear me. If you can, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Remember, we are going to follow the same structure we did on day one. So I want you to be super, super interactive. Remember to ask your questions in the chat. I'm also looking at the chat and I'll be kind of, answering them right there and there. If not, there's a team from Let's Upgrade who's also present here who's going to help you out. So yeah, that's amazing. Let's get started. But before we do, we need to define the winners of social media challenge on day one. If you participated in this challenge, thank you so much for taking time out and summarizing what you learned on day one, on Twitter or X, the new name of Twitter. By the way, if you go to the Notion page, we have already updated the winner here. So if you kind of scroll down a little, if you go down a little, you can see below the social media challenge segment, which we added earlier, you can go down and see the winners of social media day one, and you can see the page which we have added with the names of the winner. So yeah, go ahead and check your name there. If you are a winner, mention in the chat. And for other people, give them a huge congratulations so that, they feel encouraged to participate today as well. By the way, you can also participate today. We will have a challenge today as well, and I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, don't get disheartened if your name did not show up today. We will have one more challenge where you can participate and win awesome swags. More swags than this. Here you can see there's only 2 items, but today's challenge is going to give away like a kit of 4 or 5 items. Let's say in the chat, were you a winner of this challenge? Go ahead and open the Notion page. We will actually start the session here. I'm going to paste this link in the chat as well so that you folks can look at it and, you can all see the winners together. And then we can move further. I would, as someone mentioned in the chat, show it on the screen. I would love to, but we are running short on time and I don't want to, go and kind of go through the whole list. But definitely check your name if you're a winner. Remember, we are going to reach out to you within next 2 weeks to collect more details about your swag shipment and then ship it to you. Till then, if you have any inquiry, please feel free to hit the Discord server and mention Let's Upgrade staff for any inquiries. By the way, you're like, okay, so many people participated. What about others? What are others winning? You all have a chance to win Postman Education License, which is equivalent to almost an enterprise license, where you can find the premium version of Postman. So you can, anyone, the first 100 people. So it's not, like obviously more than 20, which we kind of did in the swag giveaway. But first 100 people to complete the certification will get this license for 6 months. And you'll be part of the Let's Upgrade team, and you can basically experience all the premium features of Postman. And if you're working on a side project, definitely very, very helpful. So yeah, this is also a digital swag, which first 100 of you who are going to certify will get. Okay, That's enough for swag and everything around. Let's start with day two. But before that, I'll just explain quickly what the challenge of today is. So today we are running the Student Expert Challenge. It's a long form challenge, and that's why it will end in next 14 days. So you'll have enough time to basically participate in this challenge and submit your entries. So what you have to do is basically you have to go ahead and talk about what you learned during day one and day two, doing the certification and doing the hands-on with me, right? And then what we are going to do is we are going to pick up the best, post which mention, images and mention what they really learned without using ChatGPT, obviously, so that we can select the right winner and then give them, the award and so on. So this will end in 14 days and the winner will be announced after 14 days. So feel free to participate here as well. And then it will end in 14 days. So remember that. And we'll update the winners here for the Student Expert Challenge as well. So keep this link bookmarked for sure. That's enough about swags. Let's get started on day two. So welcome back for day two, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed day one and my witty jokes. Don't worry, I looked a little changed because I got a really good grooming, yesterday. So let's get started today. And if you are new today, don't worry at all. What you gotta do is you have to go back to day one and watch the video and make sure that you are registered into the Postman program. If you are, good there, then no need to worries. You can definitely come here and get started with day two. As this is a YouTube live, it will stay there, so you can definitely come back and watch it later. But remember, doing it live, obviously helps you to kind of solve the doubts on the spot, and it's a collective feeling that we all are going to complete the course together. So let's get started. For everyone who attended day one, go to the number two and open the academy. This is where we left on day one. So this is from where we are going to get started, which is variables in Postman. And then we will kind of go to postman.com, which is link number three. So let's open that in the new tab as well. Awesome. So you can see this is the workspace which we worked yesterday on, and we saved every single thing which we did. So, that is also going to play a very important role today. And then this is basically the academy. If you are not logged in, so I'll ask you to kind of log in quickly. But if you're using the same computer, I'm pretty sure you might be already logged in. By the way, we completed the quiz number 5 yesterday, and we are going to start right here. Now, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are ready and you have opened the screen and you have opened Postman for me. Yes? By the way, I have pinned this URL in the chat. So in case you're still not able to kind of see this links, please go to the pinned comment and, open the link so that we can get started for today. Awesome. Yeah, just give me a thumbs up. I see a few thumbs ups. What about others folks? There are so many folks online here. Give me a lot more engagement. Share or give me other emojis, right? What we can do. Postman color is orange. You can do orange heart if that works with you. Okay, spam it. Awesome. Cool. Looks like a lot of people mentioned they are good to do today. Oh, I see a lot of questions in the chat as well. So don't worry about that. We will answer that. For swag queries, remember if you're a winner, we will reach out to you within next 2 weeks. Don't worry at all. We are not going to, I'm not going to keep your swag as much as I would like to, but I have an obligation that I have to deliver it to you. So don't worry, I'm not going to keep it with me. I'm going to, get it delivered and reach out to you in the next 2 weeks. We usually take a month to kind of, process everything. So please be patient. You will get your swags. Okay. Yeah, if you're new here, please go and watch day one. Then you are completely caught up of what we did. And then we can obviously get started with day two. Perfect. Okay. How many of you remember variables? Yeah. We did that variable part, right? So let's open this workspace, Postman API fundamental student export, which we created earlier. And if you go here in the library API, you will see that we did these 4 requests, right? And the whole point of using variables was that we don't want to retype this URL again and again. So we used a variable. Now that is one use case, which is very simple, that we don't want to, type again the same base URL So we used a small variable name which we can reference to again and again. But is that the only use case of variables? Absolutely not. The whole use case of variables is that you can not just store a URL inside that, but you can kind of go ahead and store values. You can programmatically set variables, get variables, and do a lot more things. And that's what we are going to learn today. So we'll start by understanding what variables helps us to do. What is the scope of variable? Different types of scope. Remember, we use collection level variables. So basically, that means we are storing that variable on a collection level, and you can reuse it in the collection itself as much as you would want. Awesome. Let's go ahead and set this variables programmatically. So what we are going to do is we are going to write a small script which will help us to kind of um, set this, run a small JavaScript code and set a variable using scripting. By the way, Postman uses PM object to kind of work with scripting, and that's what we are going to work with today. So you can see pm.response.json. Basically, it will give you the response, from the request you sent. And then collection variables.get, collection variables.set. So these are different methods which PM object enables you to do. I know programming is sometimes daunting, so don't worry about it. We are not going deeper into programming. We'll just cover a very small script which will help you to execute a few things. Cool. Let's go to next. Yeah, if you feel like I'm talking a little faster, no need to worry. You can just slow me down using YouTube's features. You can just click on that gear, go and play it at 0.75, and that way it will make it easy for you to understand me if I am going way too faster for your pace. But yeah, if I'm going faster, let me know in the chat as well so that I can slow down a little bit. Awesome. So here, what you could do is the very first thing we could do is just use console.log. So what that will do is it will just log, the output, on the console, and we can see it. So what you want to do is let's copy this code, console.log pm.response.json. Let's go back to Postman, and in the add box, what you can do is you can go to scripts. Now this is something which has changed in Postman. Earlier, you might actually see test, and then pre-scripts, but now everything is under script, and then there is post, and then there is pre. So we are going to work with the post because we want the script to run after we have sent the request. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to copy this and paste it here, console.log pm.response.json. Where did I copy it from? Here in your first script, option number 3, console.log pm.response.json. Now, as soon as I copy and save this and send it, the request will run exactly how it ran before. But if you open the console on the bottom right here, you can see that earlier we would only see the request, but now we can also see that the response has been logged in right here. So that is an example of how you will see these scripts work. So let me close this console. So let's close this, and yeah, let's write something which is useful and not just logging the response back. By the way, this is a very, very powerful tool. So you could not just, you could not just use to kind of log things, but you can open package library. There's like snippets available, and you can do like a lot more things here. So, sometime probably we can explore advanced features of Postman, but for this session, we'll stick to the basics. Awesome. Let's go back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type something useful. So let's go to the next lesson. And here, what we are going to do is we are going to set the ID variable, which we just created right here, the ID variable, and set it, in a variable name called as ID. Now, what that is going to do for us is we don't have to reference this again and again, right? So what we can do is instead of copy pasting it to, kind of paste it here and see if that book is added, we can directly reference the variable itself. I'll be like, okay, earlier we selected it by, just selecting this and then right clicking and saying that, save as variable. But right now we are going to write a program to do that. And for that, we are going to use pm.collectionVariables.set and pm.collectionVariables.get. So let's go ahead and do that. This is a simple JavaScript code on how you would do that basically in a very simple way. using multiple variable types like constant, let, and so on and so forth. And this is the actual code. So what is the code? You can see, let me zoom this in for you. Constant ID, which is the name of the variable, equal to pm.response.json. So what we are fetching is the whole response body. And from that, what we want is we only want ID. We don't want other elements, right? And then we save that in a variable called as ID. And then we use collection variables.set method to set a new variable called as ID. So let's copy this. Let's go back to Postman and remove this and paste this here. Save it, Control S, and then send it. Now you'll be like, okay, we don't have a variable name called as ID. So in that case, it will create a new variable. So let's hit send. It will run and you can say it as usual. But now one thing happened is there's a new variable called as ID. Maybe like, okay, where is it created? Where can we look at variables? We did learn about it when we set base URL, right? Yes. Click on the name of the collection and then go to this variables tab. And here you can see there's a new variable set, which is called as ID, which did not exist earlier. And you can see there is a current value, which is added automatically via the program which we wrote. Now, if you want to use this, you can go to get book by ID. And then what you want to do is you want to change this and just mention ID here and save this and run this. So whatever the new book we added, we can actually fetch here and see here. So you can see this is a very simple use of how we pass information between requests using variables. But the most complex version would be where we could actually do a lot more things. Let's say we are running a transaction and we want the transaction ID to do the next step. So you can hover over this and you can actually see the current value which is set. Now, if I go ahead and add a new book, the current value will change. Want to test that? Let's go to add book. Let's send this again. And now the ID is this, which is a new ID. Let's go back to get book by ID and hover over this. And you can see the new ID is updated automatically. How awesome that is. Yes, is it awesome? Absolutely, yes. And you could do a lot more things, by the way. This is just one example. So do that quickly for me. Go ahead. So where I'm doing all of this, add books request, go here. Oh, someone mentioned in the chat, I'm not able to see all these requests. Buddy, that's because you did not save it yesterday. Okay. So you got to save the request. As I told yesterday, saving is a very integral part of our course, learning to save your work. So if you did not, then please go ahead and do day one and, get all these details added and you're good. Okay. Awesome. Let's go back to the academy. And here we copy this code, we paste it here, we save it. And that's about this particular request. And you can see all of these things are mentioned here. So we have covered everything right now. So let's go to the next lesson. Now, before I move further, I would take a pause and give you a moment to tell me that you all are till here with me. Okay. So remember a few things which we did yesterday. Let's do a quick recap. I'm going to do a quick recap for yesterday. Okay. We created the workspace itself called as API Fundamental Student Expert. Inside that, we created a collection called as Library API V2. Who are you? You are a librarian. What is your work? Your work is to check in and check out books. Okay. So what we did, we created the first request to get all the books. Then we created another request to get only fiction books. Then we created another request where we can only get a particular book. And then we created add book request, which is where we use the post method. Now, we also learned about status code like 201, 403, 404, and so on and so forth. We also learned about authorization. So if you go to collection level, you can click on authorization and you can see we have set the authorization for the collection level. Sorry for that. And if you go to variables, you can also see that we set the base URL yesterday where we had the initial and the current value. And then we also added the ID, which is basically added programmatically in the add book script. So yeah, that was a revision for yesterday. And today's small part. I hope you all are with me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are done till here. and then we will proceed with halfway test, because halfway test is very critical. This is where we actually, be like, okay, we are doing, whatever we are doing, we are testing it. So this is a very, very important chapter, and I don't want you to fall back. So give me a thumbs up if you're all good, and then we can move further. Till then, I'll do a sip of water. Awesome. I see a lot of thumbs ups. That's good. What if you are not till here? Please do it till here and then continue. Remember, this is a YouTube video. You can rewind back. Okay. YouTube Live acts like a video. So yeah, you can rewind back and you can still watch the previous things. Okay. Don't worry about it. But make sure that you are doing hands-on with me, because that's what is going to be used to test, your like complete work and give you a badge. Okay. So let's go ahead and test our collection locally before we submit it. Basically, this is the halfway test. So this marks that we have completed the half course. So let's go ahead and create a fork of this collection. So I have also added a video here. You can see, as you can see here, you can watch this video, or else I'm showing you live. So watch me live. Okay. So what we're going to do is go to step number 1 and click on this particular link to create a fork copy. So let me click on this link and it will open on a new tab. By the way, if you don't get this link, don't worry. I have also added it on the Notion page. So I'll do that for you as well. So you can see this is a public workspace. Now the difference between the workspace which we have right now, which is a personal workspace, and this is a public workspace. Public workspace, everyone can see. Personal workspace, only you can see. So see the difference, right? So this is a public workspace, so we all can see. So let's click on the name of the, like the collection, which is collection text. And you can see there has been 17,000 folks, which is right now. And this keeps increasing. Okay. As you folks kind of keep working, it will literally go to 19,000 and 20,000 and so on and so forth. Every day it keeps increasing. Okay. So right now, if you look at here and you can see, there are basically, you will see more. Okay. So if you see 19,000, 20,000, don't worry, don't freak out. There are people constantly doing this course. So yeah, no need to worry about it. Okay. That count does not matter. So let's go to collection test. And what we want to do is we want to create a fork copy of this collection. So we want to create a copy of this. Now, can someone tell me what does forking means? It is a term you might have heard about before. Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Probably yes. I have heard about it. Yes, yes. But what does it mean? Forking means? Oh, yes, I see in the chat. It means creating the copy, but there's a catch. It is linked to the original collection. So let's click on fork and let's create a copy of this collection into our own workspace. Do not change the label. Let it be like that only. And the workspace we are going to select is Postman API Fundamental Student Expert, which we just created yesterday. So let's check that out. If you want notifications, you can watch this collection. I usually uncheck this and click on fork collection. As soon as I create a fork copy of this, if there's an error on this page, which a lot of people get sometimes, you can go back to this link from here, which is number 1, and then do this step again. No worry at all. You can see I've mentioned it here, how it works. So you can do that as well in case, you find an error. But most of the time, it will work exactly like that. And you can see that within this collection, there's a halfway check and then there's a final check. So we are going to run the halfway check and then we'll run the final check. But before doing that, if you go and click on the name of the collection and click on variables for collection test, you can see there's a variable called as submission. Now it is empty. So we need to make sure that it has value. Now, how do you get this value? Very simple. Please watch carefully. On the left hand side, I'm going to go to Postman Library API view to hover over it and then click on these 3 dots. Click on it. And then I'll go and click on share. Again, click on it. And it will open a pop-up like this, which is absolutely fine. Now from here, what I want to do is I want to go to via API. Click on that. And then it will ask you to generate a key. Now, what key we are generating? We are generating an API key. This is the read only, so do not worry because we do not have any sensitive information in this collection. Okay. So this is a demo collection. Everything is fine. The whole API is demo API. So we don't need to worry about it. Okay. But in case if you are having your personal collection, then generating this will give you this, security warning that it will leak sensitive information. So because it's a public personal workspace as well, it is not accessible by other people unless they have access to this URL. We are not going to give them access to this URL. So let's click on generate new key. Again, for people, I'll show it again. Okay. So one more time, go to Postman Library API v2, hover over this, click on these three dots. Once you click on these three dots, you will see the share option. Click on the share option. And then here in the pop-up, you have to click via API. As soon as you click there, you will see an option to generate the key, where you can generate the key and get the URL. Hit generate key. And once you see this URL, click on this copy URL button. The URL is copied, close the window, come back to collection test. Now that you have the URL ready, come back to collection test. Here you can go to variables, and here you need to save this value in the initial and the current segment. Once you do that, save the collection. Okay. So I hope you get the instruction. Again, I'll show you. Click on Postman Library API v2, click on share, go to via API, generate the key if key is not generated, copy the URL, come back to collection test. You will see overview, click on variables, and then paste it in the initial value and the current value, and then save it. You're all set. Go to halfway check and hit a send request. What you will see is I'm getting 15 out of 16. You should get 16 out of 16. I'm getting 15 out of 16, meaning that I have one error in my collection. I'm passing 15 tests, but one test is not passing for me. So we are going to fix that. Okay. So if I come here and I see that, what is the error? So click on failed and you will see all the errors. So there's one error called as get fiction books, query parameter for John fiction, and checked out balls for both are set, expected false equal to true. So we did a mistake there. We are going to rectify it. So let's go back to Postman Library API v2, go to get fiction books, and there here checkout equal to true. We got to make it false. Save it, come back here and do this test again. And now you can see I'm getting 16 on 16. Yay, that's obviously amazing. And because you all kind of did that properly, I'm going to give you a congratulation confetti. Awesome. If you are not able to do that, do not worry at all. Try to read the error messages like I did, right? So what I did, I read the error message that it was showing 15 on 16, right? And the failed message was that, okay, you are not, your get book by ID request has that true instead of false. So I went back there and then I changed this from true to false. And then it worked out and I got 16 on 16. So read the messages. Most of the time you will find your error yourself. If you can't, do not worry, ask support on Discord and we'll be able to help you out. Okay. So yeah, if you got 16 on 16, super congratulations. We, you did everything as I told you to, and you have completed the halfway check. And now there is going to be a final check, and then we are going to be 100% certified. Now to do that, you can actually go to final check and run this again, like hit send. And if you come back to test results again, you can see we are getting 16 on 28, which is basically, the half of the course which we have not done yet. So you can see, we see all of these things which are still pending. No need to worry. We are going to do all of that. And then once we come back here for the final test, it should show 28 on 28. Right now it will show 16 on 28, which is absolutely fine. Awesome. Cool. Let's go back to library API v2 and let's go back to academy. Now, if you have any questions, please go through this page, read it, and you will be all good. Okay. Now, if you're getting any error, you can see there is an FAQ page right here, which you can refer to. Let me add that to Notion as well. Okay. So the FAQ page will actually tell you what exactly your errors are, and it has videos and other things which you can definitely look at, and it will answer almost all your question. So make sure you read the FAQ in case you are still experiencing error. Perfect. Let me zoom out and let's go to the quiz. Oh yes, don't worry, folks. If you are getting, if you're getting stuck here, please try to do, rectify your errors and then move further. You can still follow along with me, no problem at all. But remember, without clearing the errors, you will not get the certificate. So, you can help yourselves in the chat or come on the Discord server and get help from your, fellow students who are already participating. But yeah, it's a requirement. That's why, quizzes are not, mostly graded, but the whole practical experiences. Okay. So one question to go. Quiz time. Are you folks excited? Because I am. So let's start the quiz. Okay. Choose all the answers that apply. Postman allows you to save values as variables so that you can spend more time reading the API first word, reuse values to keep your work dry, which is don't repeat yourself, cool off your computer, hide sensitive values like API key from being shared publicly. Tell me A, B, C, D, multiple choice questions, so you can select more than one options, obviously. Yes, yes. Definitely not the first one, as much as I would like you to read that, but yeah. Second one, yes. B, I see a lot of B's in the chat as well. Full of your computer? Not really, obviously. And then D. Hit submit. Yay, we got 100 on 100, which is the first quiz for today. And that's awesome. Okay, let's go next. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to basically go ahead and update a book. Basically, we need to check out a book. So that we need to add a new request. So let's go ahead and add a new request. Now, can you tell me which particular method I can use to update the book? Yes, can someone tell me? For addition, you can see I use post method, but for updation, which one? Mention in the chat, folks. Let's add. Okay, let me wait for that answer. Yes, put or patch. Exactly, put or patch. So let's go ahead and execute this, which is where we have to add a new patch request. So let's go here and below add the book. So go to Postman Library APIs v2, hover over this, three dots, click on add request. As soon as you click on that, it will ask for the name of the request. So say update book. And then for the URL, we can kind of go back here and just copy paste this. So it has base URL, and then it is asking for an ID. Obviously, we need an ID to update the book. So it's called as which kind of variable? Query variable or path? Yes, yes. Path variable. Exactly. So here we need ID. Now tell me, do I need to copy paste the ID from somewhere, or can I use an ID variable which we created earlier? Yes. I can use the ID variable, right? Exactly. So don't repeat yourself. You can use variables. Okay. So let's get the ID variable, save this. And should I send this right away? Yes or no? Yes. If I send it, then what will happen? Let's send this. And it will update everything. It will basically kind of go ahead and update nothing because we just added, we did not update anything. So it just gives me 200. Oh, sorry, it gives me 200 because I did not change the method. Oh, not my bad. Okay, let me change the method to patch, save this, and then send this again. And you can see I get 400 error. What does it say? 400 bad request. Okay. So here you can see that body must be object. So body is missing. Obviously, you cannot update, a book without a body. So let's go to the body. Let's click on raw. And here we need to update what? We need to check out a book. So we need to update the status of checkout as false. So I guess it is already false. We need to update it to true. So you can see we have the JSON body added here. So let's copy that. Let's go back here and let's paste it. Save it. And now if you run this, tell me what is the status code you're getting. Okay. Run this and tell me what is the status code you're getting. Yes, yes. You will get 200. Okay. Basically means that the book was updated and now the checkout is equals to true from false. Awesome. So update book is also done. That is good. Let's go to next. And now we can go ahead and we can delete our book. Now I'm going to give the task to you so that you can do it and I'll sip a water till then. Can you do the delete book request for me? We have learned so much till now, man. Like, come on. We can do this. Yes, yes. Can you? I can definitely do it. Okay, I'll give you folks an opportunity because a lot of you say yes. Okay. So do the delete book request, add a new book, add the method, add other details, and yeah, that is good. Okay. Awesome. Go ahead and do it. I spilled some water. Let me get a tissue. Looks like I'm crying on live stream. Okay. No problem. Yeah. So done. Oh, that's good. Give me a thumbs up if you're done. Okay. Let's go ahead and add that for you folks. So update book here. I'm going to go ahead, click on these three dots and click on add request. Now I'm going to name it obviously delete book. And then the method is going to be delete method. And the URL is exactly like this, but if you want, you can go ahead and copy paste it from here. But I obviously know, so I'm going to add it here. And then I need to delete this book. So let's go ahead and add the ID variable. Yes, yes. Save it and then send it, and then it will delete the book. So it will not return any content because the book is deleted. So it will return 204. But if you go back to get books by ID and if you run this, should it give you 404, right? Because this ID no longer exists. We deleted this. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's send it. And you can see that it says 404 not found because this book is not there. We deleted it already. Okay. So yeah, that's the complete cycle. Now let's go back to the final check and check if these things are working. And absolutely, we got 22 out of 28. So you can see there are only 6 left, which is skill check. So we are going to do it right now. Don't worry about it. But then apart from that, everything should be solved for you. So make sure you update the book properly. The method is patch. URL is like this. Body we have, added. And in param, make sure the ID is added. Okay. And then here in the body, obviously once you send the request, you will see, you can check that this is true. And then we added delete book where the method is delete. Again, the URL is same and then the ID is added. And once you run that, it will give you 204. Now, if you try again, it will give you 404 because the book already is deleted. So no problem. Save the request, come back to final check and test it out. And you will see that 22 out of 28 tests are passing, which basically means only 6 tests are failing, which we'll do right now. And then we are good. Awesome. Oh, you're still getting errors, folks. Don't worry. If you don't see 22 out of 28, it's because you did some mistakes in these requests. Go back, watch the video, try to rectify your mistake, and you're good. So one mistake which I did earlier was kind of in get fiction books. This checked out was true. So make sure this is false. Make sure genre is fiction, save it, and that was the one mistake which I did. But apart from that, everything else is exactly how I did, so you should all be good. Make sure the script is also added properly. Make sure you're updating the book with the body, deleting the book with the variable ID. And apart from that, obviously make sure that the authorization is added on the collection level itself with the API key and with the value. Awesome. Um, let's go and wrap up this, finally, so that we all can say that we are certified. Before that, one more feature which I want to highlight is the code gen feature, which you as students, will be so much happy about, because this gives you a boilerplate code to get started with. So let's say I want to kind of execute the add book request, right? Where I'm sending a body and I'm doing a lot more things. Now, if I want to write this in code where I can run the program, obviously I'll have to take care of a lot of things. But the very first thing which you can get easily is the boilerplate code. So on the right hand side, you will see this icon called as code just below comments. And if you click here, you can see there is a new code which will get generated. And you can see the API key is basically hidden here. And then there's other details which are basically added right here in the call command. But if you go and choose HTTP, you can kind of run it like this. You can use JavaScript, which is my favorite language, and you can run it like this. So yeah, this is something which is really sweet. I really love this. You should definitely check this out if you are if you want to get started and see the demo code there itself. Perfect. So yeah, this is the code gen feature. If you want to check it out, feel free to check it out. Let's go next. And this is the final leg of our training. So this is where we are going to check the skill, all the skills which you gained during, from sending your very first GET request to deleting that book which you added. We are going to check your skills. And this request will give you tasks. So there are 6 tasks which you need to do. And each task you will get a point for it. And then once we finally submit our collection, we are all set. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do this, final leg in the training. But before I do that, let's make sure everyone is on the same page. So give me an orange heart in the chat and tell me that you all are together with me till here. And then we'll start with the final skill check. Yes, yes, yes. I'm looking at the chat. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're getting errors. Don't worry. Your job as an engineer is to not just, work on the code, but also on debugging, on your debugging skills. Try it yourself. Go to FAQ. Try to solve it. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I see you orange hearts. What about others? Come on, folks. Be active. You're not old enough yet to, just look at me. Use your fingers, type in. Okay. Okay. Let's get started with the skill check then. I hope everyone is on the same page. If you're not, remember we have the Discord server, which is mentioned right here on the very top, which you can join and claim support. Awesome. Let's go ahead with skill check. So the very first thing we need to do is read what this is about. So to complete this test, we will switch gears and pretend to call a movie API. So till now you are working with the books API. So now instead of that, what we are going to do is we are going to use the movies API. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and create a request to add data in the movie database. And once you finish making that, we will test this for the certification. Perfect. So the very first task is to make a request, name it skill check, and add it under delete a book in your collection. Okay, fine. So let's go to the collection. Now click on delete book so that it is added below that. Click on add request here as we do always. Click on the Postman API library V3, V2. click on these three dots, click on add request, and then here mention skill check. Make sure it is spelled exactly like this and make sure all the requests are exactly in this order. If it is not, you can drag and drop them. So don't worry. Okay. Now the method is going to be post method. Okay. And then this is the URL. No problem. So let's copy this URL. Let's go here. Let's paste it. And then let's add post as the method. Save it. Perfect. Okay. So this is task number 1 done. Let's send this request. And once we send this request, we'll see echo. Echo basically replicates whatever you are doing. It will replicate that back and you will get back the same response. So here you can see you're sending the API key because it's a collection level thing. Okay. So you're sending the API key, returning that back. But then apart from that, you're not sending any arguments, any data, any files, any forms, anything else. So it is not returning any of that. So Postman echo is basically whatever you send it, it will just return that back. Okay. Now, task number 2, add a query param called movie name. Your request should have a movie name parameter with the value set to your favorite movie. Okay, that's good. Let's go to movie name and let's add query param. So let's go to query param, add it right here. Oh, see, I forgot to copy E. So let's make sure that it is exactly like that. And then what is the value? Now, a lot of favorite movies, but which one is the most favorite movie for me? I guess I'm going to go with there's a lot of them. Interstellar is there. And then I also love Inception a lot. So yeah, I guess Inception is good. Let's do Inception. Okay. Save this. Now, if you send this again, you will see that now you have passed an argument. So you'll see arg movie name Inception. That's good. Okay. So task number 2 is also done. Let's do task number 3. Turn your base URL into a variable. What is the name of the variable? It's called as skill check base URL. That's a long one. I don't want to risk it typing. So I'll just copy paste it. So I want to copy this. And they're asking to replace the whole variable name itself. Okay, let's do that. Let's come back here. From post, from the T of the post. So let me zoom this in for you folks. From the T of the post, let's select everything till H. Click on set variable. If it is not available like this, please select again from T to H, click on set variable, and then add a new variable. Make sure that you have copied it right from here. In case if you don't see, just make sure you're copying it right. Scope is going to be collection level, obviously, and click on set variable. Now you can see the variable is set. That's perfect. Let's save this and it should look good. Okay. So this is good. Let's go ahead and add task number 4. Use API key authorization. The movie theater API requires all requests to be authorized as an API key of student expert and value of skill check at the request level. So it says add it on the request level, not the collection level. Okay. So we don't need to change the collection level authorization. We need to add it to a request. We can do that. So let's come back here and go to authorization on the request level. From here, go to API key. And here you can add the key value pair. So what is the key? Student expert. What is the value? Skill check. Okay. So again, I'll show you how I did it, just in case you did not see it. So go to the request skill check. From here, go to authorization. From here, click on this inherit parent and then select API key. Now from API key, you need to then add the key, which is student-expert, and then value, which is skill check, add to header, obviously, and click on save. So this is request level authorization. If you click on send, you will now see that apart, the one which we sent earlier, collection level is no longer there, but we are seeing student expert equal to skill check. So we have this new, which is added, which you can actually see. Awesome. So this is also done. Now I'll take a pause here and I'll wait for you to finish till here and then we'll move further and we'll do the last two tasks. Okay. So if you have not done it till here, please go ahead, revise this till here and then you're good. Oh, you made a mistake in adding the URL. No worries. Where can you edit the variable, by the way? You can click on the name of the collection, go to variables, and you can edit the variable here if you made a mistake in that sense. Okay. And make sure it looks exactly like this, else it will give you an error in the final check. So make sure it is exactly like this. Perfect. Good, good, good. Perfect. Okay. Let's go to the next one, which is task number 5. So here we need to add a JSON body with the property name called as actor name. Okay. So a skill check request should have a JSON body with a property name called as actor name and set value to any actor from the movie. Okay. So let's copy this as the body name. Now in the body, I'm not just going to obviously add it there. I need to make it JSON. So in the body from none, select raw and make sure it is selected to JSON. And then open the bracket and close the bracket because it's a key value pair. Remember that? Add double quotes and add the actor name. So that's the key. What's the value? The value is going to be the actor from the movie which you selected. You can also have to encapsulate that in double quotes. So here the value is not given. So for us, the movie is Inception. You can, find, oh, okay. You can find the one, your favorite one, which is there. But yeah, here you can see there are multiple hero. So I'm going to select Leonardo DiCaprio. Let me just click on this and copy the name. Come back here in the skill check and add it. Awesome. Save it and send it. So you can see now in the data, I can actually see Leonardo DiCaprio. Again, perfect. I'll show again what I did. From params, I went to body. From body, from none, I selected raw. And then here I selected JSON. And then I added bracket. And then what I did, I added bracket open. It already closed the bracket for me, not me. Okay. Then I opened double quotes. And then here it was going to be the actor name. So make sure that it is capital. So actor name and then colon and then the value, which is Leonardo DiCaprio. In your case, if you selected another movie, don't worry, you can add the name of that actor. Okay, perfect. Task 5 is also done. Now, the final task is task number 6. Task number 6 is that set a variable using post response script. And what we got to do is we got to set automatically favorite actor variable for actor name. Okay. This is going to be a little tricky because what we need to do is we need to set the actor name as a collection variable named after favorite actor. So we need to kind of do this. Now, let me tell you a trick. Do not tell it to anyone else. Okay. What you can do is you can leverage something called as Postbot. Now, let me show you how. So go to scripts and go to post response, obviously, which is basically where you have to write it. And on the top right, so let me zoom this in for you. Let me zoom this in for you. And on the top right, you can see the small Postman note icon, like a very small icon. Click on it. Once you click on it, it will open something called as Postbot. Now, what is a Postbot? A Postbot is basically an AI assistant like literally ChatGPT, but for Postman. And from that, what you can do is you can basically do write scripts. You can do a lot more things. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go much more detail because we are trying to sneak in a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is click on continue. And what I'm going to ask this guy to do is pass my test number 6. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to go here and copy the prompt. Now I'm not going to do the hard work of even writing the prompt because the Postman guys have actually added the prompt for me. So I'm going to copy from write a script to get the actor name from the response body and save the value as a new collection name called as favorite actor. Perfect. They have given the prompt right there in the question. Okay. Let's come back here in the skill check and then mention this prompt right here in the chat and hit run. Let's see what it does. Now it says, I have added the script. Perfect. Let's see if the script is accurate. So it is naming the variable JSON data, getting the response from there. And then it is going to set collection variable called as favorite actor, which is right. And then it is going to fetch that JSON data dot actor name, which is exactly what we were looking at. Oh my God, that's easy. Okay. But don't tell anyone, right, that I told you this trick. Okay. Now, people who did not get it yet, remember on the top right here, you can see the Postbot icon. Click on it and here give the prompt. Where you will give the prompt from. Here, this is the prompt which you can give. Add the prompt, run it, and then you are all set. Now, if you want to type it, obviously you can type it, but it's going to look exactly like this. Okay. And you can take a reference also from the ad book script which we did, because that is also doing something very similar. Let's save this and let's send this. Now, what this will do is it will create a new variable called as favorite actor. Let's go to collection and you can see a new variable being created called as favorite actor. Perfecto. Okay. Now, if I go back here, that's all I had to do. Now I need to test my collection before sending it. So, the halfway test lesson, we already did that. So we don't need to repeat that. So let's come back here. Let's go to the final check and let's send this request. Yay, hooray, we got 28 out of 28. What does that means is basically that we all completed the course. Now, because we all did complete the course, I'm going to give you folks a congratulations. Confetti. Awesome. So yeah, that's super awesome. Super congratulations if you got 28 out of 28. If you did not, it basically means that you did some mistakes, which you can definitely rectify later. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to kind of make my workspace public so that you can kind of do and I can add my workspace URL here for the reference so that you folks can see it later. So I'm going to add it in the resources right here. So you can see add workspace links. I'm going to add this today itself so that it is visible for you folks. Do not worry. And then obviously other things are also added here. That is awesome. I'm going to update all the links here as well. So in case you missed it, that's good. Now tell me in the chat, how many of you did complete it? Let me see in the chat. Yes. 20. Okay. A lot of you did, but a lot of you didn't. It's fine, no problem. Try again. But yeah, don't worry. You can still claim certificates. If you did not get 20 out of 28, you will have to complete it and then you will get the certificate. Don't worry about it. But make sure you complete it. We have Discord support dedicatedly. So yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. By the way, we finished today fairly early. It has only been an hour and we are already like, there, almost there. But we have only passed the test. We have not claimed the certificate yet. So stick to me. Don't get too excited and drop off the call. I'll definitely finish in like 10-15 more minutes. So yeah, don't rush. Let me quickly go ahead and show you how to claim your badge and certificate. And then you're all set. Perfecto. Okay. By the way, I have the GIFs and the videos here, so you can look at this. If you are still stuck, make sure you can kind of go ahead and add, read our FAQ or ask support on Discord, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Let's go to next. Okay. So recap, we did all of that. Obviously, we did authorization. We read the documentation. You did not read it, but I do it. Go ahead and read it. Okay. And we did, we automated the process. We also used chatbot, and postbot and ran, a very simple query to help us with the final step. Awesome. Let's go ahead and submit our collection so that we can claim the badge. Make sure there are 7 requests and they are in exactly the same order. If the order is different, it is not going to work. So you can drag and drop and change the order if the order is different. But make sure the order is same. Now what you can do is you can obviously watch this video, but I'm going to go ahead and submit it, do that for you. So here you can go to the submit request, which is part of the collection test. And there you can see this base URL, and then you can see params, headers, body, and other things. Now, if you come here, you can see that we need to add a body, and this is the body which I need to add. So I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it right here. So let's go to body, and you can see raw and JSON is already selected. Let's paste the body. Let's save this, double verify that Postman, this email is yours, and then this variable is set. If the variable is not set, that is only because you did not save it, and make sure the variable is set. Where is this URL from? Again, you go here in Postman Library API, click on this three dot, click on share. This is the URL which we pasted right here. Okay. So if you have not done that, please do that step. And then finally hit send here in the submit section. And you should see this. Okay, congratulations. The lesson is marked complete, which means that you have submitted your collection. And now you can see this is locked, right? Let's refresh this page and it will be unlocked for us. Okay. So let's refresh this page. And you can now see that this is unlocked and we can go to next. Perfect. Let's click on next. And here I can claim my badge. So here you can see this button of claiming your badge. If you will not see, we can obviously kind of go ahead and the button is a little below. You can just read through this, that this is the email where the badge will be awarded. That's awesome. Okay, this is the link which we need to submit. Okay, let's go ahead and submit this link. This is the same link, the badge link which we kind of did earlier. So let's go here, click on this library API v2, click on share, click on via API. Make sure you copy this link exactly as it is, come back to claim badge and paste it right here. If you are pasting the wrong link, it will give you an error. So make sure you're copying the link of Postman Library API v2, share here, and then you're doing that. If you do it right, you will see it right here. Click on claim badge, and that's perfect. You will be almost done. Perfect. You can see I received the badge and it is available on the Canvas backpack. I can share this badge as well. And this is how you can download it, by the way, download the certificate. But let me show you. So if you go back, let me open my Gmail. And then here I can see that I received this email. If I click here, I can see that I got this badge, which is amazing. I can click on this URL and I can see my digital badge right here, which I can share with others, by the way. So you can see I can share this with others. But one more thing I can do is I can actually go and sign in into this account. And basically, I'll sign in with Google to make it easy. And basically check out, my badge and basically kind of go ahead to download the certificate. So I'll agree to the terms. And now that I'm here, that is good. Let me go to my backpack. Oh, what does it say? Okay, go to backpack. And you can see this is the new certificate which is awarded to me. If I click on here, you can see the confetti and I've got this certificate. And you can click on these three dots and click on print certificate, and that will download the certificate. Now you can see that my email address is visible here. So if I want to hide that, I can actually do that. So you can basically go to your account and hide your email address if you're concerned about your privacy, obviously. So you can go here and you can basically edit the info and do that. You can basically hide it and you can change your name if you want to, appear it in a certain way. So you can change that here as well. But yeah, that's about this. I hope you all enjoyed doing this. And yeah, you all liked the whole course itself. So that's the end of the course. And on to the feedback. I really appreciate if you folks can go ahead and take a moment and give us feedback. It is very, very important. Do mention if you like my delivery and if you like the whole setup with the hands-on exercises, the quizzes, and everything else. I hope all of you get certified. I see a lot of people in the chat mentioning they are still stuck. Don't worry, folks. Please try to kind of do it yourself because I cannot solve individual questions, obviously, right here. But yeah, we will definitely do a lot more advanced session later. If you want to do that, catch up with the Let's Upgrade team and tell them about this. So they are more than happy to kind of arrange it for me. Awesome. Now, remember, there is one more challenge going on, which is the Student Expert Challenge. So here, this is basically the Notion page, which we kind of referred to earlier. And I'll zoom this out a little bit. Remember, you can connect with me on different platforms. On Twitter, I usually share rants. On Instagram, it's fun videos. On LinkedIn, very professional network. I would definitely want to connect with you on LinkedIn, but make sure that you're adding a node while you're adding a collection, connection on LinkedIn if you want to. But yeah, that's about myself. If you want to connect with me, we are still running the Student Expert Challenge. So make sure you're completing this challenge and it will end in the next 14 days. You can see the form for claiming and submitting your entry as well. We will update the winners of the Student Expert Challenge right here after 14 days, of the challenge ends. So yeah, it will take some time. You can ask for the status update on the Discord server. So feel free to do that. Both the videos will be available right here, later on. So you can definitely watch that. And I will update this workspace link. So do not worry about it. By the way, you can see our past winners right below, and you can see the awesome swags they are flaunting right there. And you can be the winner of these swags, definitely. So yeah, go ahead and check it out and participate, in the challenges. And I hope you win, a lot more of these swags. Remember, if you still don't want to participate in these, swag things, you can still be the first 100 people to certify. And then we will, give you the Postman education license as a part of Let's Upgrade team, where you will get the access for 6 more months. What wonderful, opportunity you will get to kind of claim that. So yeah, that's all about everything. I hope all of this was pretty clear, pretty smooth. Make sure you're all good, and yeah, I really hope you all get this final chance of earning more swag. So that marks the end of this course. And yeah, I'm happy to, click photos and connect with you for definitely this is a virtual session, so I'll not be able to do something like this. But yeah, happy to connect with you all. I'll hand this session over to the Let's Upgrade team, who will then kind of wrap this session up. But yeah, thank you so much. They are also running some competition, so you might want to be part of that. So yeah, I'll hand it over to the Let's Upgrade team, and you can kind of move it forward from there. But yeah, that's about the course, and looking forward to connecting with you all and talking with you all in different, in the Discord server or at in-person events where we'll most definitely meet. Bye bye, and Let's Upgrade team. The stage is all yours.